Hey everybody, it's Rachel. Thanks for tuning in to this video. I'm going to be working with some of the items that I had in my previous Target and Hobby Lobby haul. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I had talked about this one in the video. I bought two of them, and what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to add my initial for my last name, and I painted it and then I sanded it, and I'm going to add, I was going to paint, I'm going to do this as a stencil, but I really liked this green, so I thought, might as well just use the vinyl. And I also, as I mentioned in that video, be sure to watch that video if you haven't already, just to see what will be coming to my channel soon. I had mentioned that there was some holes that, or not holes, but nails, nail holes, where they adhered it together, and I just added some wood filler to it and just added the wood filler, then I let it dry for the recommended time, and then I sanded it off, and then painted it, and then sanded it again to give it a little bit more of a distressed look. Okay, I think I might have missed one hole. You can kind of see right here, but either that was a hole, or that was a nail hole, or that was a nick in the, I'm pretty sure it was just a nick in the wood that I just didn't catch when I was filling it, or I would have, but you know, you win some, you lose some. So I found this pretty wreath design in Design Space. And again, I really liked this pretty green color. And what I really like about it, it's kind of spring-esque. So I'll be all set for it to be displayed for spring. But of course, I'm going to put it out sooner. And then I paired it with this pretty gray color. So it's just going to go right in the middle here. And then, of course, this is going to go on top of here. Now, the next time I'll craft with this item, I'm going to add my logo of my YouTube channel, but I'm actually about a flat, well, I wouldn't say flat, maybe an 1/8 inch thick or 1/16 inch thick wood round, and then I'm going to add my logo to it. I didn't want to have to deal with the slats, but I do like this as the background look for it, and I liked the rounded corners, so it just gives it a little bit more of a finished look if you were to ask my opinion on that. Okay, so let's go ahead. I hope it's going to fit. If not, I might be a little bit short, but I have some transfer tape that I can just overlay if I don't like it sticking out. Okay, there's that. Let's go ahead. I'm going to bring in my magnets because I think it's going to be easier to overlay it. Okay, and I'm going to expose just a little bit of the transfer tape. Oh, I want really crooked. So that it just, I can control a little bit better. All right, there we go. And I'll just rotate this around and then move those out of my way and get this pulled back. All right, so I did get it a little bit short here, but honestly, I think I'll be okay. And I'm just gonna be careful not to scrape that. And of course, if you're too much of a nervous Nelly, you can just get some other transfer tape, overlay it, and then you should be good to go. I do that all the time in my channel because I like to utilize my scraps. Okay. Looks like some of that back, the carrier sheet, is wanting to peel up with it. So I may have to fast forward through this part because this might be a little bit of a time-consuming process. Ooh, it is. Darn. Okay, well, I'm going to speed this up for you so you guys are not sitting here watching me struggle through this. I think I almost had it. Some of it was coming up, the carrier sheet was coming up. And I think because this vinyl is a little bit old, don't make the same mistake that I made. I buy a lot of transfer tape, and they do have a shelf life, and you'll see that it's peeled up here and there. That's because it's old vinyl, or it's really bad vinyl, one of the two. But honestly, I'm okay with the struggle most of the time. Sometimes I'm like, oh, come on. But most of the time I'm okay with it. And that's why I don't buy, and I only buy it a lot when it's on clearance, to be honest. And it's probably on clearance because it's been sitting on their shelves too long. So anyway, that's just me. Don't, you know, you do whatever you want, of course. So I think, now you can use the parchment paper method if you are not sure of the alignment, but I think I just need to move this down a little bit better. I think that's good. Okay. Now, as I mentioned in my, I'm going to use my finger for this part here. I don't want to ruin that. As I mentioned in my Hobby Lobby and Target haul, I'm going to attempt to use my X-Acto knife to cut out in between each of these openings here. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm a little nervous. I may not be able to get a good enough cut, but at least you can, if you're interested in doing something similar to this, you can watch my video, and then if it comes out good, then you can attempt it, or you can save yourself the headache that I went through. Okay, very good. Loving that green with the white. I think that paired really well. Okay, the next thing I'll do, I don't want to cut this down because I'm looking at what I need to do today, and I think I want this as a whole piece. I don't know, I could be wrong. So I'm going to put this back on the carrier sheet, and I'm going to use this smaller piece, and I think this might be perfect. I was actually thinking that was not going to be wide enough. Okay. Then we will apply the transfer tape, scrape that down, and then get that to peel back. Perfect. Then I will bring this over and then try to get my D centered and aligned. Okay, that took me a little bit. That's why I ended up cutting some of this out, because it took me a minute to try to get this centered. It's a little hard when you have a wreath, in my opinion. I tend to struggle with that, but here we go. Love it. Okay, so now what I'll do is, I accidentally threw away. That's okay, I'll just put it back here. All right. I will get my True Control knife out. So then let's go ahead and do that, do this, do that. Okay. It's looking like it's more and more painted on than anything. I'm loving it. Okay, this one I'm a little nervous about just because there's a lot going on here. Okay. I could be wrong. You guys may think, nope, just looks like there's vinyl on there. But to me, it looks like there's just glossy paint if I can avoid, and if you guys know me in my channel, and I've mentioned this from time again, I hate painting. Ugh. I get it all on my fingers, and although now that I discovered a sander in life and how easy the one I bought, oh, I absolutely love it. It makes sanding a lot easier. Okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. And then we'll do this side again. Just putting my spatula in between the little openings and pushing it against the wood so that way it just folds onto the wood. Now you, of course, most certainly don't have to cut your vinyl and just leave it the way it is. That would have been fine. But I think I was trying to go through for a more painted look than anything. So that is why I did that. Okay. We'll see how well this holds up. I'm not sure if it's going to hold up that well. And if it does, if I start to see it lifting, not a problem. I will just get a really small pair of scissors and just kind of trim alongside that. But I don't really want to do that because I'm worried about it, you know, cutting it crooked. But overall, I think this turned out adorable. And of course, again, you can opt to paint instead just because of the slats. But I feel sometimes when you have something like this that is hard to be inspired with because of just the vinyl, right? Just because the vinyl goes over that opening. So I think that's kind of hard to be inspired with. And I thought, well, yeah, I can paint it, but I also think that I wanted to add vinyl and see what the process was and how difficult it was to actually cut all that and then try to figure out a way for it to look cohesive. But I think overall I did a really good job on that. What do you guys think? This next craft, I am going to create a wraparound on this plant. Again, this is from Target. Got it for $5, and I thought it'd be really cute to put a little design around it and see how that would look. But before I go ahead and do that, I am going to get out some rubbing alcohol. And get that all cleaned up. Now, while I'm cleaning, okay, I just went into Design Space and just typed in pattern. Didn't know what kind of pattern, like a tile pattern or just a random design. So I wasn't quite sure, you know, what I was looking for. Looks like it got a little marked up here. And I found this cute tile design that I liked. And so I thought that it would be a good idea to have that go around the center of that. But, you know, to be honest, it was a little bit of a challenge because, first of all, you want to make sure that you measure the height, but of course, you know, the length around it. And then, oopsie, oh, okay, slow down, Rachel. But also the other thing that we need to be mindful is, so what I did was I found the distance around it, and then I found the height, and then I sized the tile down to what I need it to be. And then here's the thing, I did a rectangle with that information of this, and then you got to make sure that your two ends are not, or at least one end is not aligned with that guide, because then if this both sides are aligned with the guide, then when you wrap this around, at least my thought process is they're going to meet, okay? Whereas this one, I added a little bit of a distance to it so that way it's equal distance. Now it's not going to be perfect because I kind of guesstimated it, but I'd be more than happy to go ahead and show you that process. So glad that I ended up reverse weeding this, because that would have been, I think, a challenge and a half to try to get this to be weeded out. Reverse weeding always kind of reminds me of iron-on, because you can kind of rip it off like iron-on. So, all right. And I'm not even concerned if I'm missing a certain element in the design. Like, I'm just not even gonna fuss with that. So I'm gonna let this be my back, just because I have a couple imperfections in there. So I'm gonna bring in fact, I probably will then have to put it this direction, and then go ahead and get this added on to the cup here. And what I did was I added some relief cuts to my transfer tape, because I want it to take on the curve a little bit better of my surface here. So I'm going to let it fall, and then I'm going to gently try to, okay, so we're going a little bit crooked. I think what we'll do is completely cut that off. Okay, and then I think I'm going to just take it in sections. I was hoping to do it all in one fell swoop, but I just lost confidence, which is fine. All right, so we got, it's like, oh man, the only thing both are, all right. Kind of is going crooked on that one side, but oh well. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. Ooh, done. All right. So clearly we have some errors, but I think I have one good side, and I'll back this up to a corner so other people, so others won't be able to see it. But I think if you just put it down, you really can't tell how, off-centered, or not off-centered, but how crooked they are. I think this is going to be my best side. I think this side is just, I have it lined up here and then not so much there. But my first time wrapping something like this with this type of design, so I don't know. I like it. I may end up, I think it's cute. I think I may end up not keeping it, but I'm going to keep it in the video. So, hopefully you gain some inspiration from this, but I don't know. I may end up peeling it off and maybe just do a cute little saying in this color. If I do end up redoing it, I'll bring it to the video just so you can see what I did with this. Now on to this tumbler. I am really excited to get this out of my craft room. And I mean, really hasn't been staying in my craft room that long. Again, this is from Target. If you missed my Hobby Lobby and craft haul, or Hobby Lobby and Target haul, sorry. But anyways, this, I'm really excited to use it because it keeps it cool for 24 hours, and then, or so it says, and then it also keeps it warm for 8 hours, so you can use both for, whatever you want. I'm going to use it for water bottles. I'm going to bring in my vinyl. Now, you, of course, want to use permanent vinyl adhesive for anything that may get exposed to either the elements or water. So I just wrote my name. I've actually used this font in a Valentine's Day video, and I really liked the uppercase, although I think I used all the letters in lowercase in that video, but this one I really like the uppercase, so I went with it. And then, all right, hear me out, guys. I'm gonna reuse, oh, I can't reuse that. All right, I'm gonna reuse some transfer tape. Oh, you know what? I see a part that needs to get weeded out. Okay. So I'm going to apply my transfer tape. Now, of course, it's going to be too short, too wide, but I will piece my, wow. Try this again. I'm going to piece my transfer tape together. Scrape the front and the back, and then I'm going to peel this up. All right. Got that down. Now, of course, you can decide if you want your decal to be in front of their logo, or you can be on the back side. So I'm going to go ahead and do the back side of it, and I'll move that over here. And then let me just make sure that's the back side. Okay. And then I'm going to apply my decal. That looks good in my eyes. I'm going to get the center down, push the center down first, and then roll your transfer tape and your vinyl one direction and then the other direction. And then you should be good to go. And if, of course, feel free to add some relief cuts, but for this I didn't think it was necessary. Now, I had mentioned in my channel when I do stuff like this that I typically run my stuff, wow, this is not going to want to stay. I think this might be an issue. I run my stuff through the dishwasher, even though you're not supposed to. But when you are working with such a thin font like this, let me go ahead so you guys can see it, apologize. It is really advisable to hand wash it because it will peel up in a heartbeat. Ask me how I know that. I did a video on how to do a wrap for a lippy cup or a beer can, whatever it's called, and I had the outline of the hearts, and I ran it through, like the outline of the hearts was really thin, so I ran it through the dishwasher and it all came up. So I would really recommend when you're working with such a thin font that you just actually hand wash it. Don't throw it into the dishwasher. I mean, regardless, you're not supposed to, right? But just something that I would recommend. All right, simple, but yet really cute. So we're down to our final 3 crafts. Again, this is from Target. I showed you guys this in my Target and Hobby Lobby haul, so check that out if you haven't already done so. And I thought this color would be super pretty with a navy blue. So that is what I chose. And I just paired two fonts together that I thought went well with each other. And there we go. And just attached them in Design Space, and then went ahead and so I'm having some issues with my E, so I'm gonna pause that, and because I know what's coming up, and I'm gonna want to not have so much vinyl on my weeding tool. And since this is sticking, or not laying down and not playing nicely, just like that should be the name of the game here. Vinyl not working the way it's supposed to. But anyway, I'm gonna weed out the middles. Now this is obviously too late, but that's not a big deal. Now this part I'm a little worried about, just because the L is in the T, and then I have like apostrophe, so that is always gonna be fun to try to make sure that it adheres down. So I'm gonna use my weeding tool to get that. Oh, I'm like, where's my next letter? There it is. Okay. Sometimes taking it from a different direction really does help with the weeding process. That's why you'll see me moving around a lot, just because I'm like, oh, it's not working that direction. Let me attempt it a different direction. So it just says, let's get crafty. It looks like there's no opening in that R, which is fine. All right. Put my vinyl down. Okay. I think I'll need that. Really scrape the front and the back really well. Okay. Perfect. And then my idea was to put it in the lower right corner and let that be part of the decor. Okay, looks good. Scrape that down really good. Peel that back. Very good. Oh, I love it. It's that navy blue. I just think that looked really good. Okay, only two more crafts. This one I'm going to craft with these folders. In fact, I'm only going to craft with just two of them today, at least in this video. And I'm going to be using the, do I want to use the pink or do I want to use the white? I like the white. I'll use the white. All right. And it just has pink and black along with the white. This was from Target. And I'm actually going to be using these for my work. And so you guys may not know what this is, but it just has the course name and then the course number. And I just did it for two of my classes. So as my students turn in homework and or drawings and quizzes and tests and all that stuff, and I need a folder for all that stuff, so that way I can grade it and then give it back to them. So this just says DFTG, which stands for drafting, and then again the course number. So drafting 1101 is CAD fundamentals. And I teach the students how to use AutoCAD and teach them the fundamentals of of CAD or drafting in general. 1103, that is multi-view and basic dimensioning. So basically what that means is I teach the students how to create two-dimensional views from a 3D object. And then I also teach them the dimensioning techniques and dimensioning standards. So they get a lot of pertinent information in both of those classes. I mean, all the classes really, right? And then I think I'll leave that part there. But anyway, I just want a folder for that. And I can reuse these folders. In fact, I want to keep that. I'll reuse these folders for the following semesters because, of course, I teach these classes all the time. I knew it was a little bit short. Oh, well. Okay. Then I'm going to scrape that. Then I'm just going to cut this in half. And just really scrape that down the front and then the back, of course. This is Paper Studio. It's probably going to be perfection less. Perfection to weed and perfection to peel back. All right. Now, where I'm going to put that, where am I going to put, sorry, I'm all tongue-tied. I've been making videos like crazy. I thought about putting it right here. So let me go ahead and do that. Or do I want it up here? No, I'll do it right here. Very good. These seem like really good folders, so I would imagine it will hold up through the test of time between semesters. But as I mentioned in my haul video of Target, I bought 2 packs because they only had 2 left and I was afraid they were gonna not have these anymore and I wouldn't have enough for my other classes. But anyways, yeah, this is, I really like that, and I'm glad that I went with the black. So let's go ahead and get this last one done, and then we'll wrap up with the last project, which will be from Hobby Lobby. Okay, and let's get this on here, and then we'll peel this back. Fantastic, that went really well. I'm going to need this for the last project, so I'm just going to put that there. Okay, so we have both for drafting 1101 or DFTG 1101 and 1103. So I loved how everything turned out. I would have to say my favorite one is of the project, drum roll, this one. I really liked how that turned out. I just think it looks like it's painted on. It just has some gloss on there, right? I don't know, maybe you guys disagree, and that's fine, we can disagree, but I don't know, I really love how this turned out. And then of course my good old agenda / calendar, and I just like how it says let's get crafty, and I love the navy blue that is paired with this little peach and white color background. And of course my Tumbler. I'm super excited. I am a little bit nervous about how thin the font is, but if you do this, make sure you give this time to cool, or to cool down, give it time to cure, so that way you can, especially if you're going to gift this, and then you should be good to go to apply any water on it to wash it. And then lastly, we have this one, and while we definitely have some oopsies and it didn't work out as much as I would have liked, it still nonetheless turned out super cute. Like I said, if I end up redoing it, I'll put it in another video. And then lastly, we have these really pretty folders. I'm really excited about using them. They seem pretty durable and should hold up for at least a few semesters, so I'm pretty stoked about that. But anyways, that is all that I have for you in this video. Thanks for stopping in and taking the time to watch it. I hope that you really enjoyed what was on my craft table today, and be sure to like and comment on this video and let me know which one your favorite craft was. And then also, if you're new to my channel and you're not subscribed, please be sure to subscribe. It will really help me out. All right, thanks guys. Have a wonderful day.